Hello and welcome to Megawatt, where each week we give you the lowdown on the latest piece of kit from the world of technology and gadgets.
This week on Megawatt, it's all about gaming accessories. We look at Nintendo Wii Fit, get the lowdown on new Call of Duty 4 downloads, and test out a gaming vest that promises to let you feel the real force of getting shot. Stay tuned!
Nintendo has managed to invigorate the oldies into playing console games. Now it's hoping to get fatties as well with the Wii Fit. The idea is basically games aren't for sedentary people sitting in big sofas with a can of beer and a controller, but actually something that you want to do exercise, maybe yoga, aerobics and other things too. Well, we're here at the Wii House in London to see if it really works. So what do you get for your $69.99? Well, you get the board. You also get the game, which has got a selection of games on it, and that's it. Now, before you get started, you have to go through a setup process, which we're going to do now. So, a quick setup process, basically ascertaining my height, my weight, and fitness. Look away. 27.96. That's not good. Thank you, Nintendo, for telling me that I'm overweight. That's brilliant. So once you've got yourself set up with a profile, you're able to go and play games. Now, most of the games are locked away, but obviously the more you play, the more games you unlock. Games are based around different exercises, so they test your muscle strength and things like that. So there's a game like, there's a whole yoga session, for example, where you can do lots of man-making lotus and things like that, as well as some football games and some ski games, and basically trying to get the most out of the exercise regime for you while you're having fun. Now, we're doing this yoga thing. It's obviously showing us how to do it. In addition to that, we have a red dot in a yellow circle on the screen. That red dot's supposed to be in the middle of that yellow circle. And then the blue rings are showing me when I've got to breathe. Now, the only thing I can see with this, when we're trying an incredibly difficult yoga stance and I never do yoga, is that I'm more focused on that red dot than the yellow screen than I am probably meditating, which is obviously what yoga's all about. So we're going to do some step aerobics. And who said video games can't be fun, hey? Down, down, up, up, down, down. Now, more fun and probably going to get more plays is something like the football game, which if we select, basically I stand on the board and footballs are fired at me at high speed and I have to move from side to side. It's probably a good one for skiing because you're really sort of pushing all your weight on your thighs. And certainly far more exercise than you get playing Halo 3. This game is very much like the Victorian labyrinth game where you have a ball and you've got to roll it around the platform and get it in the hole. Within a set time using your balance. You start with one hole. As it gets further on, you get more challenges and more balls. Then you get a timer to do it. It's quite addictive. If you're getting in practice for that ski trip next year already, then the skiing game will be the one for you. Oh, it gets a bit tight towards the end. Can he do it? Can he do it? Can he do it? Yes! Result. So what do we think of the Wii Fit? Well, it certainly gets you off the sofa playing games rather than sitting on that sofa with a controller in your hand getting fat. The games are quite fun. There are some we liked, there are some we didn't like, there were some we were good at, there were some, and pretty much most of them we weren't good at. Is it dangerous? Well, there is that element of sort of probably losing your balance, stacking it into the TV and going to A&E with a cut face. But on the whole, it's a good thing, I think. You know, lots of people say that video games are making kids fat. This obviously goes completely against that grain. And, you know, our calves have had a good workout over the last sort of half an hour of testing this thing. So, $69.99, available in April. It's the Wii Fit, and it's a thumbs up from us.
So we're not in a breaker's yard, we're actually in a car park in central London, and we've come down here for the launch of 4 new maps for Call of Duty 4. And we got to have a chat with John from Infinity Ward, which is the developer of the game. So John, tell me exactly what's going on today, what's being launched?
Today we're showing off the 4 new maps, which are the Variety Map Pack. And it's a mixture of, you know, older maps and new maps, and we're really excited to finally get to show this off because we've been hard at work for months.
Fantastic. Well, tell me more about the maps. You said it's a mixture between new content and old content. So what exactly is in there?
One of them is Broadcast, which is a conversion from single player of the TV station level, the Charlie Don't Surf. A lot of people who played the single player have fond memories of the intense battle in that TV station. So we got a lot of community feedback asking to do that in multiplayer. One of the other maps is it's called a Creek. And this is a brand new map we've done, and it's sort of a big outdoor map because we also got a lot of feedback. People like big outdoor, and some people like close quarters. So we wanted to give everyone what they wanted. There's like a old creek bed with a farm on one side and a destroyed town on another. And you get a neat mixture of fighting inside the buildings and fighting outdoors, and there's a little cave you can go in, so there's some cool choke points there. We have a third map, which is Kill House, which is the training level from the first level of the game. That one is more for close quarters, small games. It's good for split screen, it's good for cage match, team tactical, private match, that kind of thing. The last map is a remake of Karantan from Call of Duty 1 and Call of Duty 2, and that is the fan favorite map from our other games. So people really wanted to have some of our older games maps brought over. So we brought over Karantan, but we changed it completely. So we had artists who spend months building all new assets, and we've turned it into Chinatown in San Francisco. And the layout is the same as Karantan, but it doesn't look anything like it, and it looks really cool, and I'm really excited.
So obviously fans have been bugging you and saying we want all these new things. So do tell me, when are the maps going to be available? Is it going to be staggered across the world? When can we get excited about this?
The new maps will be out on Xbox in early April, worldwide, and they'll be coming to PS3 about 3 weeks later, again, worldwide.
So how do people find out more details about the maps?
You can go to charlieoscardelta.com for all information about Call of Duty 4. That's our big site. And we have video of the new maps and screenshots and all sorts of new stuff.
Fantastic. Well, thanks ever so much for all of your time.
Thank you very much.
Hello Marines. No, we're not joining the army today. We are in fact testing the latest gaming peripheral, the Third Space FSP gaming vest. Now, what it is a basic flak jacket, but the main difference is that coming out the side there is a air valve and there is a USB socket. Plug that in. At the other end there is a air compressor unit that charges and powers the whole thing, and then the USB cable goes in, plugs into your USB socket on the side of your computer, and away you go. Now, why would you want this? Well, basically, the idea is that within the jacket itself, there are little air pocket pushers, 8 of them, in fact, 2 there, 2 there, and then a further 4 round the back. And whenever you get shot in-game, you feel it in real life. We're going to test this on an Alienware laptop. You don't actually need something as powerful as this. In fact, the games that come with the jacket itself, one is Third Space Incursion, actually a game developed specifically for the jacket. Minimum requirements for that are 1 gig of CPU speed and 512 meg of memory, so not very demanding there. And Call of Duty 2 from Activision. However, it will work with things like Crysis, and there are supposedly more games coming. So let's get started. Now we have to turn the compressor on. This is quite loud, probably a bit louder than the Xbox 360, and when the compressor kicks in, i.e. you've run out of air in the jacket, it really gets noisy. So if there's points you can't hear me, that's the reason. So we're going to play Incursion, which is the game that comes in the box. Once you get a shot, you might be able to hear, I'm getting shot, my jacket is moving. There goes the compressor, quite noisy. Now the great thing about the game, well not necessarily the game, but the actual jacket itself, is that it does work out whereabouts you're being hit in-game and responds to that accordingly. So if you're trying to run away from someone, then you get shot in the back, then you will feel the back pads going more than the front pads. If you get blasted with a shotgun, we found in our tests that all 4 sensors, all 4 these air pockets go off. And therefore you feel a real force, a brunt of how you feel if you got shot by a shotgun. I'm not sure, I haven't really been shot by a shotgun before. However, what we have felt, it's not really that strong. If I'm going to get shot by someone with an AK-47 or an M16, for example, I want to feel it, because that's the whole point of this game, getting into the action. Even in the sales blurb, they say, well, don't worry, it's not going to give you a bruise. Well, we want it to give us a bruise, we want to feel that visceral edge of action and on the battlefield. And so the third-person FPS gaming vest sort of is a really good idea. It's a nice idea, but for £150, it does come across as kind of a gimmick. And for £150, we'd really want to feel it. I mean, the jacket's well made. It's just maybe the health and safety laws haven't allowed them to do that, and we just want them to break health and safety laws. And that's the gaming vest from Third Space.